up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Inside the Box with CJT Creations. And the episode has finally arrived, and it is here. And looking off to my right, my left, whichever way you're seeing this, that is my mom. If you're hearing this, that is my mom. Holy crap! We got Mommma Diva D on the show this week, and it's gonna be an interesting one for sure. You don't know where this is gonna go, but I'm excited. I know you guys are super excited. Welcome to the show, Mom. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, out here just, being an adult and everything.
Adulting, that's good.
Yes, adulting on this fine Sunday evening. And, my team lost, kind of stinks, but it's all good. We're going to bounce back with a good interview, and I won't feel so bad anymore.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. So, I guess, where should we start? That's a good question. Where should we start with everything? Let's just start with the holidays because it is the holiday season. Are you excited for this holiday season?
Yeah, actually I am. It's a little different, this year with all the family not here and everything, but I'm excited. Definitely looking for some days off, some relaxation, and just enjoying the holiday. Ready for 2020 to be gone, but other than that, ready for this holiday.
So, can you reveal what I got for Christmas?
No.
Oh. I guess
it's only 2 days away. You'll be all right.
I guess. Okay, so I guess the biggest thing that I want to start off with is I want to talk about you from the beginning. Because I got questions. I'm curious. Maybe some stuff that I don't know about you yet, but maybe we all get to learn about. So let's find out, shall we?
Okay.
So growing up, so you was born in the 60s, barely.
At the end of the 60s. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So you was born in October.
Mm-hmm. Let's just keep that there.
Yeah. So you wasn't born in Tarboro, you was born in Baltimore, right?
Yes, Baltimore City, born and raised. Went to school, elementary, high school, everything in Baltimore.
So how much do you remember, of growing up, back in elementary school? I'm just saying, there's some things you can kind of because I don't remember elementary school. I don't remember elementary school for me back in when I was in Maryland.
I remember. Well, you went to several schools, so maybe you don't quite remember everything. But I went to Thomas G. Hayes Elementary, and first let me go back. I went to pre-K at this school called 139. I can't remember what the actual name of the school is, but it was 139, and it was down on South Central Avenue in Baltimore. And then I went from kindergarten to sixth. I went to Thomas G. Hayes Elementary, which is 102, also on Central Avenue in Baltimore. I lived right across the street from the school, which was a project called Somerset. And we lived in actually Youngcourt. So, and then from there, I went to Clifton Park Middle School, and then Lake Clifton High School is where I graduated from.
So when you said the 102, is that the street or is that the district?
No, all of our schools had numbers. So it was school number 102, but it was Thomas G. Hayes Elementary, school number 102. So, but school number 139, I just can't remember what the actual name of that was.
Right.
Because again, I only went pre-K there. But yeah, and I have no idea what my middle and high school numbers were. But
honestly, I don't. As far as I remember Melbrook, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was elementary.
Right.
I don't know how long I was there for. Maybe third and fourth?
I think he was there until third grade. because when we got to South Carolina, you went to,
Fifth.
So I guess you were there the 4th grade then.
Yeah, because I wasn't, because when we moved down to South Carolina, they had intermediate school, which I never heard of.
Right.
And intermediate was like 4th and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like
it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh yeah, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and it was weird that he's broke it up, even though the school's like pretty much connected.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you just have to go further down the hill.
Right.
I don't remember the school. I remember vaguely about doing a Christmas play a long time ago. I feel like I was in kindergarten. Either I played Santa Claus or I did something where I walked across the stage. And I remember like walking through the halls. It had to have been kindergarten. I think it was either kindergarten or 1st grade. I don't even know what school it was, but
it had to be Dodge Park.
What school?
I mean, not Dodge Park. Andre went to Dodge Park. What was the school in Melwood?
Melwood.
The one in Maryland, the elementary school in Maryland.
That's up in Marlboro.
Right.
No, I'm thinking about like kindergarten. I didn't go to Melwood that long, I don't think. Because we was living somewhere else. Like,
well, I don't.
Near DC.
Go to, no, did you go to the school in Mitchellville? I don't think you did.
That was around 99.
No, I don't think you went to the school in Mitchellville. I don't think you. I don't remember. It was so long ago.
You can remember where you went to school, but you couldn't remember where I went to school.
I'm one. There were 3 of you. But I believe it was Melwood. Isn't it? Is it Melwood? That's what it's called.
I remember Melwood. Yeah, I remember going to Melwood for elementary school because I remember they had a really good cafeteria food, and I think if I would have stayed, well, I don't know if I went to elementary there though. I feel like I went to a different elementary or another elementary before Melwood.
No, you was in. After you left Miss Kelly, we put you in school because you didn't go to. You went to a daycare. Maybe it was a daycare you went to that you did something at, but we didn't. You went through Melwood. That's when you started regular school.
Okay.
And then before that, you was at Miss Kelly, and then you went to daycare.
Shout out Miss Kelly. She definitely raised me. I remember eating those hot dog sandwiches. She used to make like hot dog and bread, like just 2 sandwiches, hot dogs, mayonnaise, just eat.
Yeah, eat the bread.
Yeah, I would though. So you went. So what was your middle school years like? Do you remember like being like super awkward? Because you had you're the youngest of 7 kids.
Yes.
By Miss Gladys Young. And that's what was it like growing up with like 6 other siblings, especially being the youngest too?
Yeah, well, it was okay. Of course, I got picked on a lot, and I got was the one that always put up the ask my mother, ask mama this, she won't tell you no. So it was always that, and it was always, she get away with everything, or you the favorite. So
I've heard that before.
So we had our share of fights and makeups and all that crazy stuff. But it was nice to live in a house full, but it was just tough. It was tough back then. With my mom being a single mom raising all of us kids, but we made it through. We made the best of things. The most thing that I do remember is around Christmas times. My mom was able to give us, she used to give us like $10 a piece during Christmas. That was our Christmas money to shop. And believe it or not, we were able to buy each other's gifts. We bought all the siblings, each of us exchanged gifts in the house. And, that was our Christmas. We were able to get, whether it was a pack of barrettes or, bows to go in your hair, things like that, little jewelry, things from stores that used to sell things that were cheap enough for us to purchase and still have a little change left after you buying 6 or 7 gifts with $10,
Yeah.
So, it was fun back then. You definitely won't see that anymore. It was fun.
Yeah, it's more, like that $10 sound more like $100 in today's currency.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like $100 to us back then, but yeah, we made it work. That's for sure.
So going into high school, because I think this is kind of one of my favorite things. I gotta get bits and pieces of it, but like you were definitely like almost a punk rock chick in a way, kind of going in high school. Like you definitely like your music taste is so like diverse, and you definitely I think you pretty much put me on the '80s music. Like I love all the music you listen to. It's kind of like
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, definitely driving y'all around during the years when you were young, all you listened to was the 80s and 90s. Well, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s music is pretty much what I used to listen to, and especially in the car. So,
mhm.
yeah, but in school, I had a group of friends that I used to hang with. Just it was four of us girls, and we used to be called the Four Horsemen back in high school.
Really.
Yeah, and we because we hung together, you wouldn't see one without the other. So we were always together. And the one thing we used to do is listen to a lot of I guess it's 80s rock or soft rock or whatever they called it, like
Hmm.
John Bon Jovi and a group called
Rock
Heart.
and roll.
Yeah, I mean, so we listened to all kinds of music back then, and when on the days when we used to cut class and be on the roof at the school, we used to get up there and sing these songs, and just have fun. But back then, the music was nice; it was fun, and rock wasn't always not a ghetto type thing. People in inner cities, urban, they used to listen to those type of the music back then because the music in the 80s it was cross genres, I think. So, it was good. It was good. I still listen to it now. So it definitely carries the age of it. It lasts.
Oh, for
You
sure.
guys heard a lot of it, so it definitely lasts.
It has. The rock and roll took over the world for I would say since like '60s to possibly early late '90s, maybe early 2000s, and
Mhm.
now hip hop rap is pretty much now the new rock and roll, so to speak. And
Yeah.
but it's also so many different genres of rock and roll. You got softcore, you got hardcore, metal, punk,
Mhm.
like all these
Mhm.
different that contrived from like rock music.
Right.
And now you seeing where hip hop music is taking the world, which is cool, just to different generations. But yeah, you definitely influenced me a lot. I mean, I definitely listen to a lot of '80s, '90s music on the
Mhm.
regular, for sure. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so let's see. So finishing up school, what kind of girl were you? Would you consider yourself in high school? Were you like popular, nerdy,
Well, I
bad
wasn't.
kid?
I wasn't too popular, but I was trying to find myself, should I say?
Mm,
When I went in, I was more tomboyish,
mm,
because I used to hang out with my brother all the time and go run, jump, things, climb fences, stuff like that. But once I got in high school and I had girlfriends, then I started trying to make up, try to dress a little different, wearing skirts and things like that. So, I was pretty much trying to find myself, trying to get a little bit more girly during that time. Um, and then, trying to get into boys and stuff like
yeah.
that. So that's when those things came about around in high school. The awkward part was because my sister and my brother went to the same high school when
Which
I got
one?
there. My brother John and my sister Deborah,
Okay.
three of us went to the same high school.
At the
So
same
they
time?
were, yeah, when I first got there, they were still there. And then John graduated first, and then Deborah graduated afterwards. And then so I was left there. But the thing is, going to a high school with your older siblings, you always get ignored. Like they don't know you. You're the freshman coming in, so yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know you. So, and that's what it was. But it is what it is. So
Did you play any sports in high school?
I did not. Like I said, I was too busy trying to be so girly. I had opportunities. I did things like we had the choir. I enjoyed that. Um, but I had no I had no interest in sports when I was in high school, which is funny now. But yeah, I had
Yeah,
no interest. I had no interest in.
that's interesting. So shortly after high school, you had your firstborn son, and let's
Yep.
call him Andre, of course. Um,
Yep.
so what was it like when you first had Andre, and what was like everything going on?
Well, I mean, I was still pretty young, so I had a lot still to learn, but I didn't let it deter me. I still went out. I got a job. I found babysitting for him because back then, it wasn't really daycare like. So, you find a mom or grandmom or somebody to watch the child for you while you worked, and that's pretty much what I did. I worked, and then when I was able to, when Andre was a little older, I did. Start going. I went back to school for what they called back then computer office skills. Is what I first went back to school in 1990 when Andre was about 3, and so and like I said, he was pretty much watched by my family, my sisters, my mom. They were all pitching because we were all still in the same household. So it was easier for me at that time to be able to go back to school and work. The first job was at McDonald's. Hail to McDonald's. I did work there for I would say a good. Well, I started working there when I was in high school. I started when I was 16, and
Okay.
I stayed there till after I graduated, and then I took off a year or so after I had Andre, and then I went back and I started working at McDonald's again, and then I was also going to school part time in the evenings. So I stayed there, and then after I decided, okay, I didn't want to do fast food anymore. I mean, I had a lot of different opportunities come my way. I even had police officers try to recruit me and to be in the Baltimore City Police, but I wasn't having any of that either. But it was
What? Hold on, hold on. What?
yeah, I mean, because when you work in McDonald's, where do police come in to eat? They come in to eat fast food. So
Mm,
you get to know a lot of your customers that come in frequently, and it was a lot of cops that came in back then when they had time. I'm quite sure they don't have time now, but when they had time, they would come in, and then you would get to know them because they were regulars. And so, try to be recruited by them. That they always say, "Come on, you can, come on and try out for it." And I'm like, no, that's just not me. That's not for me. So that didn't work out. I didn't even make the effort with that because I really just wasn't interested. So,
yeah.
but when I after I finished with McDonald's, I worked out at Fort Meade, the National Security Agency, NSA. That was it wasn't a government job, but it was like a contractor type of job. I worked in the cafeteria actually, and then I was out there for I guess about 3 years maybe. I
How old were
enjoyed it.
you?
I was in my early 20s. I would say I was about 19. I started at 19, and I was there to maybe about 21.
Okay.
So yeah, I worked there for a while. I would have to catch the bus. I caught the bus from downtown Baltimore at 5 o'clock in the morning,
Mm,
and I had to be at work at 6, and I worked from 6 to 2:30 every day. So and that was good. Like I
AM?
said, it was yeah,
Okay.
6 to 2:30 in the afternoon, and then like I say, it was fine because Andre was still Andre at that point was in elementary school, um, and we were still like I said living at home with my mom at the time, so they were able to get him ready and get to go to school because I was out the door so early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So and they helped with him. Like I said, family back then was definitely crucial. Because you just needed that extra help. Especially being a single parent. So, stayed at Fort Meade for a while, was making a little bit more money. It was, starting to get a little better. And then when I finally graduated from the technical school that I was at, I got a job making big time money, look, $8 whole an hour back then. Um, I got that job, and that's when I was able to buy my first car, and I was
Was that the
able to
Volkswagen?
no, no. I my first car was a 1993 Geo Prism. They don't make them anymore.
I don't even know what that is.
It was similar. Actually, it was similar to a Toyota
Yaris?
Corolla back
Oh,
then.
Corolla. Okay.
A Toyota Corolla back then. So yeah, I had a Geo Prism. I was proud of myself, man. I mean, I used to work. I worked at. It was a data entry job. I used to do for what they call. It was used to be. I used to be a contractor for the Healthcare Finance Administration back out in security in Baltimore. So that was like big time for me, making the whole $8 an hour, and I was able to get my first car. And then soon after that, I got my first apartment on my own. And at that point, Andre was still going to the same school around my mom's way because, it was just easier for me because I ended up getting a part-time job working in the evenings at Hackinger's. Used to be Hackinger's. It was a hardware store like Home Depot.
Okay.
They went out of business years ago, but it was called Hackinger's, and that was my part-time job. So when I would leave my full-time job at HICFA, is what we call it, HICFA, then I would drive up the street to Hackinger's, which is all on Security Boulevard in Baltimore, right in Baltimore County. And so, and I would work there until like 9 o'clock at night. And I would pick up Andre and we would go home. and that's just how it was. I think I did that I did that for about a year because I stayed in that apartment for about a year until that's when I met your dad. So
what year? So you met my dad in 1994 or 93?
1994. 94. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So
indeed.
if I recall correctly, the story of how you met my dad was through a blind date.
A blind date. Yep.
In DC? It was in DC.
No. Where did we go to that movie? No, he came to He came to Baltimore.
Oh.
He came to Baltimore and he picked me up. We went to the movie theater. It was a movie theater in Baltimore. We saw a movie called The Notebook.
Like, wait, that couldn't come out then.
Was it The Notebook? Wait a minute. It was a movie. Was it called The Notebook?
I don't think it's called The Notebook. You capping right now.
Hold on. I'm going to have to look it up, but I'm going to get back to you on that. I think it was called The Notebook. Or if it wasn't called The Notebook, it was called the I know it was about a newspaper. It was a girl that worked at a newspaper. And I gotta remember. I can't remember what it was, but I thought it was called.
Okay, so it was
1994. I believe it was called The Notebook. Or was it the newspaper? It was something like that.
we'll just keep trucking on. We'll look for it later.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay. So so this is a really cool question I want to know. What was your first impressions of my dad?
That's a funny question. I think when I first met him, I thought, first of all, like I said, my girlfriend had introduced us. She met him through a guy that she was dating at the time, and they both worked together in DC. So when she met him, she thought, oh, I could introduce you to my friend. So when he, like I said, he and I met during that blind date. That was the first time we met each other. And he just reminded me of an old-fashioned guy that, was pretty laid back. He had a pretty good sense of humor, but he was definitely one of them old-fashioned type of guys, not real flashy.
Yeah.
Which was fine with me, And he had this old Mustang that he used to drive.
Yeah, I remember talking about that.
I mean, it was nice, but I thought, okay, you could at least have a 5.0 at that point. It was one of the old LXs, that really didn't have as much power as the other type of Mustangs, but it was all fine and well. And like I said, we went on that date. We went to the movie, and then we went to have we had cheesesteaks at some place that we found and drink beer because that was his thing.
You don't
But
even like beer.
I don't now, but I did. I drank it back then when I thought I was grown,
Oh
trying
yeah,
to fit in. Yeah, like, give me a beer. Didn't know what I was doing, but yeah, but I mean that's pretty much how that went. I mean, we kicked it off pretty well because, like I said, he used to have a sense of humor back then, and
yeah.
we got along pretty well.
And then, of course, a year later, here
Yeah.
comes me.
Well, we got married first, and then the year
Yeah,
later
yeah, yeah.
came along.
Married, done, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever.
Right.
For me, here I come.
Yeah, there you go.
So okay. First, before I get there, so what was it like with Andre and Charles?
Well, Andre was the type of kid that very easy, very easy to get along with. Um, he never really complained. He just, all he wanted to see is if I was happy, then he was fine. And so he, decided if this is what I wanted, then he would just go along with it. And he did. He didn't complain really at all. You know, he just, he did the best that he could to try to get along. And he did. There was some bump heads, obviously, um, throughout the relationship. But, like I said, Andre, he's always been an easygoing type of kid. And, I didn't have any issues with him as far as growing up at school and things like that. Um, so, but he just dealt with it. He still was in his dad's life too. So, it didn't really, wasn't a real issue for him,
Mm-hmm.
moving along with that. Plus, we had Tasha too at the time.
Yeah,
So he had company, so
yeah. Tasha was about 3 when you met her, right?
no, she was actually one. She was getting ready to turn two.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Because 94. I think she was
Mhm.
born in 92.
Two. Yeah, she was born in 92. So she was getting ready to turn 2 years old.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then along comes me,
Yeah.
95.
Yep.
With the day your
Mhm.
life changed forever, people say
It
around these
did.
parts.
It did.
So
Yeah, but
then
it
at this
did.
point, you had 3 kids. One of you
Mhm.
both each had your own individual, but then this is your first kid together.
Right,
Um,
right.
so what was that like? I don't remember much of the early days. I think this is when you still were living in DC. Like when
Well,
I was born in DC.
right. You were born in DC, but shortly after that, we moved to Prince George's County because the house we lived in DC only had 2 bedrooms and it just wasn't big enough.
Hmm.
So you know, I we ended up we moved to what they call it, Forestville, Maryland first,
Okay.
which is it was apartments there. We lived there for about a year, and then we moved to Mitchellville.
I do remember Forestville a little bit. Did I go to school around there? No, no, no,
No, you
no.
were, you were
Tasha
just
went
a
to
baby.
school. I think I remember
No,
Tasha.
because no, during that time we still had the kids in DC school.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't we didn't transfer them out until we got to Mitchellville, and then that's when they both went to at school in Mitchellville. I can't remember
King
that.
something?
Kingsford
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Elementary. Yeah, because Andre
Okay.
went to the middle school too over there.
Right. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, so 3 of us. So you had to move into a bigger space. So I think I don't remember where Dad was working. He was working probably. Was this Pentagon time?
No, I don't think it was Pentagon time yet. He eventually got to the Pentagon. I mean, he was working security. Like when we first got together, he was working security on. All I remember was on New York Avenue in DC. And
Yeah.
then it was the Bureau of, what was it, Bureau of Justice or something like that. He worked downtown in DC. I think it was Bureau of Justice or Department of Justice or something like that. Bureau of Prisons, that's what it was. Department of Justice Bureau of Prisons. I don't know. It was downtown in DC. All I know, because every now and again we would go down there, take him lunch or something like that every now and again. But yeah, he would work evening shifts, so he wasn't even home in the evenings. He would come home late at night once we sleep or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Man.
or he'll work a double sometimes or whatever. So
So fast forward a little bit, we enter the next edition of the family, and
hmm
some might call him the favorite of the family.
I don't have
I'm
any favorites.
I'm talking about Chris, of course, the baby,
Of course.
which you
hmm
were also the baby. I just want to put this out there
hmm
for the people. Just put this out there for the people.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
This was 99. In the summer
hmm
of 99, Chris was born in Silver Springs, Maryland.
Yep.
So then what was life like when he was born? How was that like, you know?
Chaotic. I mean, at this point, we have four kids to deal with. But, you know, after I got, because I was home pretty much with him for the first couple of months. And once I got things situated, making sure y'all got out, you were still home with me, actually. Um,
This is when
but
you had
the
the
other two,
Volkswagen.
right. No, I didn't have the Volkswagen. What did I have
When
then?
did you get the? When did you have? I got to hear. When did you have this Volkswagen? You had it at Mitchellville. I'm pretty sure you had it at Mitchellville.
No, I didn't. Well, I had it briefly at Mitchellville. I did have it at Mitchellville for a little while, and then I got the minivan, the purple minivan.
I didn't remember that. But was it the minivan? Then you went to the Mitsubishi.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
gotcha.
The minivan went up on us, and then I got the Mitsubishi.
You went up on us.
Well, it's the same thing that happened with your Camry. That's what happened
Oh,
to that Ford minivan.
okay. Yeah, yeah,
I hate to bring that up.
yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's a wound that is. It's healing. It's healing for
Yeah.
sure, but it's fine.
hmm
So yeah, raising three boys, big boys now. Definitely was a handful.
hmm
Um, I guess we could say it. You got divorced to Charles around
Yes.
2001, right? I think it was
Right.
around 2001,
Yep.
October,
Yep.
October 10th, 2001, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember the actual date, but I know it was 2001.
Around October time, the 10th day, around 2:30 p.m. was when that ink dried. I'm just kidding.
Right, right.
But so yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much then, you're raising, these three boys,
hmm
semi on your own or whatever, every other weekend or whatever.
hmm
So what was that like? Because Andre was getting into his middle school preteen stages, and me and Chris are
Right.
both, I guess
So elementary.
under 10.
Right.
Well, yeah, because Andre's 8 years older than us, or
hmm
me, and then 12 years older than Chris.
Right.
Um, did you see like any like having a big age gap like that? Did you see was it difficult or was it beneficial having the age gap?
Actually, it was beneficial to me because, Andre was the big brother that I needed him to be. Meaning, like, if I needed to run out, he could watch you guys. He was old enough at that point, especially
Mhm.
during the time when we were able to purchase our first home um, in Upper Marlboro.
Park Mark Lane, right?
Yep,
4813.
yep.
That's the first house I truly I remember Mitchellville, but Park Mark Lane was definitely the house that like I
Yeah.
remember the most
Mhm.
from.
Yeah.
What's that
So he
house?
was, he was able to step up and be there and help out as a big brother, keep you guys for me when I need to do like small little runs or whatever, or keep an eye on you in the house while I was doing something else. So he was, a big help to me. You guys actually looked up to him a lot. And, he was definitely a great help, a great resource that I had right then and there. So although he was trying to come into himself as well, because during that time is when he was first starting, getting out to start play football and things like that. So it was good.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I still look up to Andre.
Hmm.
I mean, ever because it's just like seeing him go through everything he did. Like, fast forward, like see him being so successful at Andrews High School, um,
Hmm.
playing football there, then getting recruited to play college football at Newberry College in South Carolina. We jumped a little bit. We moved from Maryland to South Carolina around
Yep.
2005, 2005, 2006.
Yeah, in 2005.
Um, and so, Andre played there, played really well, really a state champion track runner. Was a really good football player. Decided to go to Newberry, played really well in Newberry. Had opportunity to go into the NFL, play a little pro ball in the indoor football league, which those are some of my fondest memories. Is us like driving the road, going to like little tryouts and stuff that he had. That was super fun because I was like super into. This is like my early stages of getting into football, and I was just like
Right.
watching NFL Network all the time, and
Uh-huh.
just wanted to be help him out. I try so many things to try to help him out, like to get him looked at and send stuff to coaches or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was. It was. It was definitely a trying time for me because I was juggling three football careers at that point. Chris playing Pop Warner. You were playing high school at that point, and well, you were getting ready to start playing high school, and then Andre was playing college. So I had football games from like Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday. So
Yeah, it was
back to
fun. I
back
love those
every
trips on
day.
Saturdays. The
Yeah.
Saturday trips to Newberry.
Mhm. Yep, they were fun. Yep.
So, what would you say has been the funnest thing about raising three football players, and then the not so much fun thing about raising three football players?
Well, I think the fun thing definitely was definitely going to the games and supporting you guys and the things that you wanted to do. You obviously started out with Boy Scouts when you first got to South Carolina, and going through that whole phase with you, and then into football after that. Um, it was fun for me because I got to watch you guys do exactly what you love to do, which was play sports. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your high school and middle school years. You guys, I mean, really had a good time during that time, and I enjoyed watching you because I thought you guys, all of you, did a great job. As far as playing your sports, you were really dedicated. You were really into it. So I just wanted to support you and, push you along to make sure that you could have a successful time doing it. And I think the three of you did because I mean all three of you played football. So
Yeah, we all made it to the
yeah,
college ranks. Some
yep,
other than some longer than others.
true, 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 true. Yeah, but I'm just glad that you guys got to have that experience because it's a good experience. Some people don't get to make the team, and the fact that the three of you did, it was a good thing.
Yeah,
And
stars
I think
all over country.
all of you love me in the stands cheering for you anyway.
Oh
So
yeah, you're loud.
yeah,
You're loud.
I am definitely a football mom. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So okay, so yeah, so with your youngest child, did you feel like it was difficult with such a big shoe, especially with the son right before him, he made and created path. Did you feel like it was it was difficult for him to really live up to that, or do you feel like he's okay, he did okay, or he's just a failure?
No,
You think he's just a failure?
no, actually, I think Chris actually was the one. He's played football the longest, to be honest with you. He's been out there on the floor, on the field since he was what about 7, 8.
Yeah,
So, and then up until now in college. So, and he had what maybe a 1 year hiatus um, from football, I believe, and then he got right back into it in high school. So he's definitely been out there. I think he's, I would say enjoy it the most, but he definitely has been in it the longest.
The longest,
And
yeah.
I would say I would say he still has more to do. If he feels that he continue wanting to play now since he's still in college now, if he continues to play and if he feels that he want to continue to play, then I think he would do good at it if he put his mind to it. I think Chris is to the point where he feels he has to prove himself since he's the youngest. He wants to be better than the middle and the oldest child. So,
Big
he
shoes.
tries to work. He tries to work a little harder. So,
I
I
get
think
that.
he's doing good.
I get that. What would you say has been the funnest hobby that we picked up, or things that we've done that you, besides football, that you enjoy? Because I think I've done a little band. Chris did a little band.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Boy Scouts.
Yep.
I did Boy Scouts long. I started at Cub Scouts and I moved to Boy Scouts. Chris just
Yeah.
did it just because, and then that didn't really work out.
Chris just wanted to go camping. He didn't really want to do the work. He just wanted to go camping, and then he quickly dropped it once football came around. So
True.
he didn't stick with that very long. I just like the fact that you guys were active. You were interested in doing a lot of different things, which was good. And you just kept trying things until you found which was really your niche and what you really liked. And, as long as I was able to support you guys with that, you know, it was good to see, that you were just sitting around moping, getting into trouble and things like that. You were actually out there being active, doing positive things, doing, things to keep yourself busy. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, not doing drugs, crack cocaine, weed.
At least not when I had you.
You kept us on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I tried. I tried my best.
You did great, honestly. Honestly, you are a great mom. I would say were.
Thank you.
You still are a great mom. Okay, so let's talk more about current life and career path. So currently, right now, you are a medical coder in billing. You work for many different
Not
companies.
billing.
Not billing, just coding.
Yeah, just coding.
Gotcha. And I remember you went and got your coding license certificate maybe 2005, 2006 time, maybe?
No, actually, I got my first certificate back in 1994. No,
Oh,
I'm sorry. Wait. I got my first coding certificate in 2004.
okay. So I was right around that time.
2004.
Right
No,
before we moved. Right
was it?
before we
No,
moved
wait.
to South
It was
Carolina.
2002. I'm losing my time frame here. It was around 2002, 2003, because I remember I was working in DC at George Washington University Hospital Medical Center. And I took classes there because they were doing coding classes there when I was working there. And then I got my first coding certificate then. Um, and then after that, when I started working here in South Carolina at the hospital, I got my second coding certificate in 2005. No, wait, shoot. My second one was in 2012.
Okay.
So the first one was in 2002. The second one was 2012. And then in 2007, or was it 2008? It might have been 2009. I got my third one because I had to go to Philly for that class for a week.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. But that's what I do now. Pretty much probably will retire from this field because me working from home, I've been at home for 8 years now, and I probably will never go back to nobody's office if I can help it. So yeah, that's what I enjoy doing, and plan on keep doing it.
Yeah, you were definitely made for this quarantine and this COVID season. Already working from home, so you didn't have to worry about anything.
Right,
Um,
right, yeah.
like early on when you were younger, was there any dream job that you thought you wanted to have, or something you wanted to try out when you were younger?
Well, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a nurse. To be honest with you, That was, my interest back then. Didn't pan out. I got a little closer. I got close to it, as far as with what I do. And over the years at the different hospitals I've worked at, I worked with a lot of nurses. So, that's something I wanted to do, but it just didn't pan out that way.
True. Understandable. So I guess the coolest thing about you, and I would say about you, but you're amazing. Is I guess one of the coolest stories is last year, September 21st, 2019. The I won't say the end, but the culmination of this long story. Do you want to tell the story for everybody? Because this is literally when everyone hears this story that she's about to say, it's like, oh my God, it's so perfect.
Nothing's ever perfect, but
it's pretty. It's pretty cool. if anything, it's really cool story.
Okay. Well, what happened? What happened was, back in my high school years, I had a childhood boyfriend, if you can call it. We lived in the same neighborhood. We grew up on the same block. We used to play baseball together. Back when, years ago, we used to have Pressure Street versus Biddle Street. And I used to watch them at first. The guys used to play against each other. And then the girls got involved. It was the Preston Street girls against the Biddle Street girls. So we had this whole rivalry thing going on. But during that time, I used to date my current husband. We used to be, secret lovers, as people used to say back then. But we were really good friends. We hung out, like I said, we played baseball together, basketball, all that kind of stuff. All the crazy things that teenagers used to do. We went to the same high school and stuff. But he used to ignore me in high school, of course, because he was a senior and I was a freshman coming in. So he used to ignore me a lot in high school. But, we still hung out after school and stuff like that. And then when he graduated, he ended up going into the military. Never told me. He claims he told my mom, but I don't, I never heard anything. But he left and went into the military, didn't come back pretty much. So I went on with my life. He apparently went on with his. And then years later, I would say in the
2014?
Well, no, before then, in the late 90s, early 2000s, he tried to contact me. But at that point, I was like sort of bitter. And I didn't, give him the time of day at that point. I was like, well, what are you calling me for?
Yeah.
My brother was famous for giving out my number back then. So he had given him my number. He tried to contact me and I pretty much shot him down. So fast forward, when I moved back to Maryland, we connected again. And, we hit it off. We, like I said, because he just felt like home to me because it was somebody I had pretty much grown up with and we were raised pretty much the same way. So we had that Baltimore way. It was comfortable for me.
Right.
So, and we hit it off. We ended up getting back together and ended up getting married. And now that he's retired, we're living back in South Carolina, loving it so far. So, and that's how it is. But we didn't get back together until like 30 years later. So, yeah.
That's the long game.
Yeah.
Started as high school sweethearts. Bad, things happen. He goes off to the military. This is a story. This is a beautiful love story that needs to be made. Comes back around. Nah, I ain't messing with you. Nah. Then he's like, one more time. That's really cool. And then you guys planned this amazing wedding last year, September 21st. That was really fun. It was a lot of fun. That was really cool. Like, that was my second official wedding that I remember going to. The first was with Andre's, of course.
All right.
And then yours. And then it was just like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience in weddings, but that wedding, I mean, of course, was just like huge. I mean, it's your wedding, so it was just pretty cool. But yeah, that was a really cool story. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna for about you. We're gonna wrap up, but we do got 2 more things that we want to go into with you. We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna play a game called This or That. So you can't think, you just gotta react and just answer.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Hold on. Let me get myself set up real quick. You ready?
Yep.
Cookies or cake?
Cake.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Computer games or video games?
Video games.
Pop music or rock music?
Pop.
Stuffed animals or dolls?
Stuffed animals.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Hot chocolate or coffee?
Coffee.
Morning or evening?
Evening.
Day or night?
Night.
Text message or call?
Text.
Okay. I guess I won't call you no more then. Let's see. Summer or winter?
Summer.
Love or money?
Money.
Oh, that was a good. Book or movie?
Books.
Book? Oh, okay. Let's see. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Coke.
Coke? Okay.
Coca-Cola.
Rain or snow?
Rain.
Rain? Okay. Really? Okay. Yeah, snow sucks. People like everybody who's like, oh my God, I wish I was there with snow. Like, bro, if you live with snow for multiple years, you like it's cool after maybe the first or second time, but after that, nah, it's not fun anymore.
That's it. Get out there and shovel it, and you'll have a different opinion.
Oh my gosh, you're like burning and cold at the same time. It's the weirdest sensation. Let's see, car or motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Okay. Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Hamburgers or hot dogs?
Hamburgers.
T-shirt or sweaters?
T-shirt.
Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Chris or CJ?
Both.
Oh, okay. Andre or Chris?
Both.
Okay. If we all were sinking and you could only save one, who are you choosing?
I would just jump in with you.
Oh man. Okay, so also there is one thing that I did want to talk about before I forgot. The one of these questions reminded me. But your growth of loving video games over the past like 4 years has been the weirdest but coolest thing that I've ever experienced. Like from you nagging us all growing up. Oh, get off the game. You always on the game. Get off the game. And then next thing you know, hey, you trying to run? You trying to run? What can you say, like, I guess, pushed you to, I guess, being a video game girl, gamer chick?
Well, I think, when Daryl and I first got together, that's one thing he used to do is always be on the video games. So, and and I watched him play. And then he said, well, maybe you should try it. I'm like, I don't know. I probably won't like it. But and then I got an Xbox, and we got a few games together. And as we started playing, I'm like, I was like, okay, this is cool. This is not bad at all. And then as I started playing different games, I started liking more. Although I'm more of a Fortnite person now, which is amazing to me because everybody was like, "Oh no, Fortnite sucks." But then when I started playing it, I really started liking it. So that's what I play the most now. Although I'm sure I play with a lot of kids, but I don't really conversate with them because
Nah,
it's
nah,
more
nah, don't be
home.
fake. Don't be fake. You know what you be saying to them kids. You be talking trash to them little kids.
I have to mute them now because if I don't, I forget that they're kids. And, it's not very, kid friendly. The conversation that goes on throughout the game. So, I have to mute them.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay.
But it's fun. It's a good pastime. So.
That's I think that's just the coolest thing about you. Besides that, but it's just like you're always into something new. Literally, it could be 2 or 3 days later, and there's something new about you. I remember you talking about you want to be a beekeeper. You wanted to, just some crazy outlandish things.
I still want to do that. I still want to do that, and I'm still looking into trying to do a chicken coop in my yard. So
A what?
Yeah, a chicken coop. I want to do that too. The thing is, it's a lot of things that you can do in this world, and you're never too old to learn. And if you continue to just expand your interests, do different things. I mean, who would have known I was making jam when I moved to South Carolina? So I
That's
mean,
true.
it's a lot of different things that you can do and learn. And as long as I'm still able and willing, I'm gonna continue to just keep reaching out there to try to learn more as much as I can. So and do different things. So.
Awesome. Okay. All right. I respect that. That's awesome. That's a really good motivational quote for people.
Yeah, just continue to learn.
Exactly. So let's go to the final segment of today because we are wrapping up here. And let's do music of the week, which is one of our hottest segments. You can follow our playlist on Spotify titled let me pull it up for you guys real quick. Songs of the Week with CJT Creations with 4.5 hours of goodness. Just great songs. It's always based off of what I'm listening to during the week, what my guests are listening to the week, and what vibes that we got going on. And there's a lot of different interesting vibes. I mean, we got a lot of hip hop, rap, pop. There's also some rock on here. There's some Earth, Wind, and Fire on here. Some Fugees. Like, there's a good mix on this playlist. This is a great playlist. You should definitely follow this playlist on Spotify. But Mommma, what do you listen to? What songs do you want to put on the playlist this week?
I think since it's Christmas, what I've been listening to personally this week is Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas."
Classic.
Yes, I love that song. So I think that'd be a great addition, especially because of the holidays.
Right. Yeah, that's a banger. That's definitely a banger for sure. Oh, that's a good one. Do you have any other songs, or you just want to do that one? Any other Christmas songs that you like?
And of course, a classic for me is the Temptations' "Silent Night."
Oh, the Temptations. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to go with a little bit of old school hip hop. I've been being woke up by Alexa with old school hip hop for the past couple weeks now. But one song that's really kind of been stuck that sticks with me is "Ambitions of a Rider" by Tupac. That song's just been hitting different for me this week. It just is a good bop. Like it's just like literally I wake up bopping my head like this every morning. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to wake up now. So it's kind of funny how it gets me into huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's no, I like the song a lot. It just giving me back into like an old school hip hop mode, like kind of going back through some stuff I haven't listened to in a really long time. And so I really enjoy it. I really enjoy I enjoy Tupac and Biggie a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you saying?
I can throw a little country in there for you. It's one particular song that I listen to quite a bit with my husband, which is it's by what is the guy? I think it's Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks.
The one that says skydiving. Um, it's called "Live Like You Were Dying." Is that Garth Brooks? I forgot his name. It's called "Live Like You Were Dying." Ugh.
That is Tim McCraw.
Tim McCraw, yeah, Tim McCraw. Yeah, that's a great song.
Interesting. I think this. I don't know, this might. It's funny because Shelby is definitely a country song listener, and I don't think she put a country. Maybe, or maybe I just might not have put it on the playlist. But this might be the first.
That's definitely one I would recommend.
Okay. I will put it on the list. Okay, Live Like You're Dying. Perfect. I'll put that on the list. You guys can go check out that playlist. Songs of the Week with CJT Creations on Spotify. Go ahead and follow it. Listen to it. 4.5 hours of delicious goodness. I'm telling you, there's a vibe there for every occasion. And of course, now it's going to have it for the holiday occasion as well. Entering into the country world, which I didn't think we are going to do. But we are here, and it is what we're doing. So Mommma, we're wrapping up the show. Did you have fun?
I did. It was very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
You say you're proud of you? I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Proud of me. Oh.
I said it was interesting. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, yeah. Thanks for doing this. I thought it was a cool idea. Just kind of people I think you get a lot of information about me and you at the same time, of course, because we're definitely linked together because,
yeah,
you're my mom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we definitely do this again. Maybe we'll do some more, some fun stuff that I got planned later on, and we'll have you and we'll talk some more. How about we'll talk a little bit more about your love of karaoke and how often.
Oh my God! Yes.
Often you talk karaoke, you sing karaoke in the house.
Karaoke is the best.
So that will be something we'll tease the people with and get you back on the show next year because you are the official last episode of 2020, which making, it's been a big year. A lot of episodes we did this year, which is really awesome. So super excited. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for raising us right. Me, Andre, Chris, Tasha, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We love you. I love you so much. And yeah. That's all I have for you guys today for this episode. If you want to see more of my mom on this channel and on this podcast, go ahead and like this podcast on YouTube if you're watching this the video version. If you're listening to this, go ahead and give 5-star review on Spotify, Apple, and let us know and help us get some fun and help us get this thing going and moving. And also while you're here, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, if you're just listening to this as well, CJT Creation Box. And while you're subscribing, if you're in the mood to subscribe, go over to the Twitch channel and go check out our sports podcast, Hate to Pile On. And it's me and Jonathan. We break down NFL coverage. We're getting ready to get into NBA coverage. And this week, or the week of Christmas, we are starting wrestling coverage as well. So a lot of stuff here at CJT Creation Box for you to get into, for you to bite into. But that is all I have for you tonight, people. Have a great great Christmas, a happy holidays, and a new year. I'll see you guys next year in the new year, 2021. We're trying to get this 2020 over with. But like in forever, keep it creative, people. Peace out.
Happy holidays, everyone.